Come, let's take a test of your brain too, which will prove that you are a genius and intelligent, or like the rest of the 90% people, you also have a normal and average brain. Yeah. Okay, just look at these three lines, A, B, and C carefully, and think and tell which line is the biggest out of these three, which is smaller than that, and which is the smallest line. You have 5 seconds. Your answer will definitely be B. That B is the biggest line, C is smaller than that, and A is the smallest, right? But this is a wrong answer. The correct answer is that the length of these three lines is equal. All the lines are equal. Look, just because the endpoints of these lines are different, they look small and big. This is called the Mueller-Lyer illusion, which is a kind of optical illusion which the genius brain easily solves. Okay, now look at this. If you really have a genius brain, then you can tell in just 10 seconds. The answer is Rick, because his phone is kept in the pocket next to the injured hand, while the phone should be in the pocket on the other side, which hand he can use. So definitely Rick is standing with a fake fractured hand and acting. Only a genius mind can observe such details, while the average mind looks at everything from above. In a normal average brain, both short and long connections are balanced. That's why it works average, whereas the genius brain focuses on short connections at the same time, which means it also focuses on expertise and long connections in one area. Which means it has the ability to understand multiple areas and see every problem from a different perspective. Like Nikola Tesla was a genius. Nikola was a pioneer of electric power and wireless communication. He visualized every technical design in his mind and solved any kind of fault in the mind. This skill is called eidetic visualization, which clearly remembers every photo, memory, detail, shape, and color of the brain. And this skill is only available with geniuses. We have told you the difference between a genius and an average brain, but the main question is how to find out if your mind is average or a genius. That's why we are going to tell you 5 such intelligences with which you can identify the average and genius capability of your brain and can increase your brain many times. So if possible, get ready with a paper and a pen. The Tetrad personality test. The first is the personality test, in which we are going to ask you 4 questions. First question, do you follow orders or instructions without thinking deeply? Or do you ask questions in return to understand? If your answer is yes, then chances are that you can also be a genius. Questions always increase understanding, innovation, and confidence. And those who are afraid to ask questions, in comparison to them, those who ask questions get an extra advantage which makes them feel their importance. Like Steve Jobs called the co-founder of HP at the age of 12 and asked about the spare parts of the computer. Seeing Steve's curiosity, Bill Hewlett offered him an internship, so asking questions is a sign of being a genius. Second question, do you like to spend time alone? If yes, then this will be your second step towards the genius brain. According to neuroscientists, spending time alone makes the brain's imagination network stronger. Famous scientist Isaac Newton made his big discoveries, calculus and laws of motion, in the lockdown of the plague when he was completely alone. So if someone is alone more, then it is not necessary that he is arrogant. This can be a sign of being a genius. Third question, do you like to wear simple clothes like a rose? If your answer is yes, then you have cleared the third step of the genius personality. Just look at this. In the timeline of Steve Jobs from 1999 to 2010, most of the clothes he wears are the same. Even Mark Zuckerberg wears the same type of clothes for years. Actually, the same and simple clothes are useful to simplify life, and according to Mark Zuckerberg, thinking too much about clothes is a waste of time, and geniuses don't waste their time on unproductive things. Question number 4. So if your answer is yes, then you can be a genius. According to researchers, messy handwriting means that the speed of the brain's thinking is actually faster than the speed of writing. Messy handwriting is a sign of your brain's fast thinking, which is a sign of a genius, because they focus on the quality of speed and ideas, not on presentation. A very realistic example of this is physicist Richard Feynman. Feynman's calculus notes were very bad in writing because his thought process was the clearest and fastest. So if all 4 answers to your personality test were yes, then you have passed the first test of the genius brain. But just this does not fully prove that you are a genius.